This parable is for the voice that whispers, "At least I'm better than them." That inner scoreboard is exactly what Jesus aims at in this parable. In Luke 18 verses 9 to 14, we read Jesus telling a story to people who were confident in their own righteousness and looked down on everyone else. Two men go up to the temple to pray. One is a Pharisee, respected and religiously strict. The other is a tax collector, seen as a traitor who collaborates with Rome. The Pharisee thanks God that he is not like other people and lists his religious achievements. The tax collector stands at a distance, won't even look up, beats his chest, and simply asks God for mercy. Jesus ends by saying that it is the humble man, not the impressive one, who goes home justified. Observation first. Jesus is speaking, likely in public, with both disciples and critics listening. Luke tells us the parable is aimed at those who trust in themselves that they are righteous. Notice how the Pharisee's prayer is full of I thank you. I am not like other people. I fast. I give. He uses other people's failures as a backdrop for his goodness. The tax collector, by contrast, says very little. He stands far off, won't lift his eyes, and beats his chest, a sign of grief. He calls himself the sinner, not just a sinner, owning his condition. The contrast is stark. Performance versus plea, comparison versus confession, distance created by pride versus distance felt by shame. Interpretation. Next. For the original audience, this story flipped expectations. Pharisees were the moral examples. Tax collectors were despised. To hear that the tax collector goes home justified and the Pharisee does not would have been shocking. The Greek word dikaioō, translated justified, means to be declared in the right before God, not to have earned that status. Jesus is saying that God's verdict favors humble honesty over polished self-presentation. Psalm 51 says, God delights in a broken and contrite heart, not in mere sacrifice. James 4 echoes this by saying, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. The theological principle is that grace flows toward low places. God is not impressed with comparison prayers. He responds to those who come empty-handed and honest. Application brings it home. For us, this touches both how we talk to God and how we see others. One concrete action is to practice praying like the tax collector at least once this week. That might mean dropping the explanations and simply saying, "Here is where I'm wrong. Have mercy. Change me." No excuses, no comparison, just truth and trust. A second action is to notice when your inner Pharisee wakes up. When you catch yourself thinking, "At least I'm not like them," treat that as a warning light. In that moment, you can choose to let someone else's story remind you of your own need for grace instead of using them as a prop. Over time, learning to come to God with humility, not performance, and to see others through that same lens can free you from the exhausting need to always be the good one. You rest in being loved, not in being impressive. Study it deeply. Live it fully.